The big thing that I tweeted out that we were going to be doing, the thing that's probably going to completely destroy my voice even further beyond than what it is right now, is that we are going to go through a bunch of player seasons and try to put together a resemblance, a very loose resemblance of a top 50. Just for 6 hours. Don't worry, we're not going too in depth. I'm not ordering a bunch of players the way you expect me to. I am just kind of putting players in certain categories and going from there. We are not doing a full ass, let's put together a numbered top 50. That'd be insane. What I'm going to be doing is we're going to be making a few tiers. Excuse me, as my dog just brought a squeaky toy in here. You're going to have to deal with that for a bit until she decides to move it or rip it. And what we're going to do is we're going to this fun little tier list is, if you've never seen before, Lumi Rank Top 150 plus HM tier list maker. If you ever want to do something yourself. And I added quite a few at the bottom because I, created these graphics. So it's a lot easier for me to do that of players who are pretty relevant to season that we could talk about. And we're going to be going and breaking them down into a few categories. First and foremost, we're going to have our first category, which I'm going to zoom in now that you've seen this in giant huge tier list so you could actually see things. We're going to start with the first category, which we kind of talked about earlier, which is attention for number one. To add some context, because I'm probably going to end up posting this to Twitter at some point, the race is very close and can be determined by the final 2 months of the season. And as I said earlier, there's only 3 players really in contention for that right now. That is Akala, that is Doramigi. Pretty sure Doramigi is almost number 1 in the world right now, and that is Hurt. So easy range. We've already looked at these players. These are right now the players most in contention to get to there. It's just going to come down to if they enter more tournaments before the year ends, before the season ends. Sorry, half year mark, and whether or not they, do things. Next year that I have that I was planning on doing is solidly top 10 or like pretty strongly top 10, but anything could change. Players who belong in this category are players like Mia, players like Gluto, Shutan, I guess. We'll look at some Smashers apps to see how I feel about this. Don't know if anyone else really goes here, if I'm being honest. I think this is my pretty strongly top 10, but anything could change. Gluto, Mia, and Shutan are pretty high up there right now. Honestly, in truth, outside of Gluto, I don't really want anyone else in this category. I feel like anything could really change at this point. But those players feel pretty strongly up there. And then we have the top 10 contenders. Gluto an awful start, yeah, but Gluto's had a fucking crazy season so far. Like, he might have had an awful start, but his overall performance this season. Also, I don't even think he had that awful of a start. He's just lost a crepe at some regionals. Like, he didn't have the greatest start at GSM, but he didn't exactly, like, Ruffalo's not that bad of a loss this season. We'll get to him later. Then he went fucking Link at Reaper Invitational. Don't know what you could do about that. But he got 9th at Genesis, beating Anin and Mia. Like, that's only the second month really into the season. Sure, he lost the crepe at Gamescom and then, like, had a kind of nothing tournament at Cavalier Clash, but then he won Battle BC with probably the best sweep of wins that you could get at this event. I guess I didn't realize he was at I forgot he was at Level Up Expo. You know what? Fuck it. This tier is just gonna be top 10 contenders. What the fuck happened there? I think there isn't a tier that is like solidly top 10. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't think there is. I'm just gonna stop. This season do be pretty crazy. Fuck it. I'm not guaranteed. I'm not putting anything on the line to think that there might be anyone solidly in here. I think this is like just straight up fuck it. I don't know, man. This season's kind of crazy. Raru's definitely up there. I need to look at Light Season because I don't think he is, but Zamba, Anin. Gotta talk about Wrath because unfortunately that season that he has is really weird, but it's kind of hard to ignore in terms of a player who could potentially be high up. I think Carmel's the only other player I'm missing, right? He's ranked so far down last season. 65. This season kind of crazy. I forgot Syrup. You're right. Thank you. I did forget Syrup. Doing this out of order is probably a mistake. I probably should have just went by player by player. Yeah, this season is kind of crazy. There is a lot of players in contention for top 10. That's 10 different players that I've already listed, and there might be a few more as we go on who've either won majors, done really well at big major events, have been either pretty consistent or had pretty insane peaks. The season's been kind of across the board. There's a lot of players who could do it. I think the two players on this list who are the biggest question marks are probably Wrath and Carmelo, because Wrath has insane placements. He's making top 8 at every major he's attended. He made 5th. He got 5th at the biggest event of the year. But his actual wins on the players in this category and above, I think, are 0. I don't think he's beaten anyone in this category. So it could come down to Wrath is also losing on the top 50. Interesting. It could come down to, though, like one big event. Like, I think one big event changes Wrath's season in comparison, but I definitely think he's kind of the hardest to justify being top 10 compared to any of the others. Maybe I'll change this into 2 different tiers like this. I'll say current top 10 contenders, and can just end up there. One really big run. Put Wrath in there, and I'll probably also put like Light, Sonics. Where's Ashimo? Ashimo is probably in this category too. Tama P, yeah, Tama P definitely goes in there as well. Players who have good results but are just a step below, I think, the tier above. Ouch. You know what? Yeah, probably. Ouch has some pretty crazy wins. Let's look at Ouch. Let's look at Ouch's season. I mean, a big highlight of his season is the Reaper Invitational and Battle BC. And Battle BC beat Mia and Akla, which is crazy. Plus Torgiri, who's been pretty good. Big Boss pretty good. Rio, who's been doing solidly. Monte, who's been doing solidly. Only lost to Leo and Syrup. That Reaper Invitational, he beat fucking Gluto Light Syrup and Zomba. His level was also fine. Yeah. Nothing to really bring home though for like a top 10 contender. I don't know if Ouch is like, I don't know if I put Ouch in this category actually. I feel like his lack of major attendance makes this a bit more difficult. And like he does have some interesting dips. I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this Eugene bound tournament. And it's like Best of the West was a bigger tournament, but I wouldn't say outside of Cosmos any of the wins were like super big. And Cosmos isn't like the biggest win. It's a good win this season. It's not the biggest win. Uh Wrath being up there just fucking with these guys doesn't care about placement season. Yeah, but you kind of have to like look at those placements as a bit of a dictator for that level of not losing, which I think not losing is becoming more and more important in this game. It's very hard not to lose. Like compared to even finding wins is much harder not to lose. Wish Aush attended Kagribi. Yeah, that would have been cool. He's still very hot. I think if anything, Ouch probably goes. You know what? Wrath probably also isn't like I wouldn't really consider. You know what? Considering Raru also had a very similar season and got like 11th ranked, I wouldn't be surprised if Wrath is ranked really high because of his consistency, despite not really beating a lot of players above him. Wrath's two worst losses are Cola and Light. I don't know if that's. I think he has some regional losses. I might be wrong. I don't know. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Level Up was the only major he didn't make top 8 at. I forgot he was even at Level Up, to be honest. But he got 9th. It's not like his wins are necessarily bad. It's just that he doesn't beat a lot of big players or just missing out on those. Yeah. You know what? God, we're making more tiers, aren't we? I'm just going to call this. I'm not making another tier step below. I'm just going to call this pretty locked into top 50. And we're just going to boop, doop, get those guys down there. Honestly, I feel like this tier above can just end up top 10 with one really big run. Wouldn't that just be a top 10 contender? Like, this tier feels a little silly to keep. I feel like this tier could be split in two. Kind of want to look at Light Season. I feel like Light Season's a little hard for me to totally remember. There's not like any big run I can like point to in my mind. Let's start from the you got 4th at LMBM. On wins aging pretty well. Wrath wins aging pretty well. I think top 5 contenders to reason until tier to have. No, I genuinely do not think there is like. I genuinely think this ordering is so fucked. I really do. I'm like trying to remember what Light has done. He kind of had a rough start Then had a really good Cav Clash, just losing to Steve. An okay battle of BC, or like, yeah, kind of a nothing bout. He lost to Monty? Really? I didn't even know that. Then a really good level up. A fine Kagaribi, or Kagaribi because he lost to Lunamato of all players. And then a fine, you know what? Dude, I don't know if Light's contending for top 10 this season. Like, I think, I don't know. Look at Ashima too. Yeah, like these players are kind of tough because I don't know if I'd consider them in the competition of the players above. Look at Ashima season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ashima doesn't belong here either. Ashima just has the S tier win, but I feel like he hasn't really been beating people. So the fifth at GSM, where else Dormi Gasiski would be Crepe. Seventh at Sumabato, lost to Kome and Kandinabe. He has a lot of weird losses. I remember that. And then got third at Saibugeki, beating Shuton. Um, Another ninth at Sumabato. Probably, yeah, this was the big one, winning Kowloon 15. And even then, the wins aren't super impressive, actually. You know what? Yeah, Ashimo ain't here. I don't think Ashimo's up here. I don't think Ashimo's making top. I feel like the big thing with him is that the only like super big tournament he attended this season, like out of the big three that are going to be important, is Kagaribi. And even then, like his best win here is either a flow or T. That's fine, to be honest, for like a top 10 season. So I don't think he's making it back here. He's pretty locked in for top 50 though, but I don't think he's a contender for top 10 right now. I feel the same way about Sonics, to be honest. I don't even think if he wins Gommel, he'll be there. If I'm being real, I wasn't even considering him top 20 until he did well at Kowloon or Kulon. So it does not match with my brain because of the O and the double O. His Kulon run was pretty good. This is a pretty damn good run. A lot of good wins. And he was a solid Kagaribi. Unfortunately, upsets make 13th sometimes get with like weird losses. It's just that like he doesn't have enough. Those Zamba wins are nice, but like it's just not enough. It's just not enough since out of the 6 events he has. It's just not enough. He just didn't really attend a lot. And I think he like missed Genesis attendance by missing a flight or something like that. I forgot. So you just, yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. You just don't have enough to keep up with the competition above. Um, I don't know how to feel about Light just yet because I feel like it's still pretty good across the board. He might not have the same peaks as some of the players here, but I feel like he doesn't have the same valleys, if I'm not mistaken. Relook at him real quick. He got sick at LMBM, and then he lost to Colin. Okay, it was LMBM he missed. Oh, true. Light does have weird losses on Bubs. That's right. He does have some weird regional losses on Bubs. I don't think it's like that big of a deal breaker, but like, I guess his other major performances haven't been insane. Oh, yeah. I think this tier probably just doesn't exist. All right. Tama P sponsored now by DFM. That's so cool. Only 3 tournaments, but they're all pretty damn crazy. Vidor Migi and Raru. And then I don't think a fourth event would bring Tama P to the top 10. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of who I would put Tom, like even if Tama P won Delta 11, say beating like who goes to Delta normally, Shuton and Mia, would that be enough to put Tama P at least above 4 players in the category above? And that's kind of a tough question to handle with only 4 events. Like, yeah, Carmel at least, but it's a little tough because then like you just have Zombo, who's then a better version of your season. Anin just has insane peaks now. Syrup also has some pretty good like I find it hard to put that over Syrup as well. Definitely not Gluto. Maybe Tweak would be pretty similar enough season. Definitely not Shuton. Uh Probably not Raru at this point. So yeah, I don't know. I think just this tier doesn't really exist, and we could just put that into yeah, these guys are def top 50. Just gonna move everyone up and just change the tier name. Yeah. Just do that. Call it a day. Pretty locked in the top 50. Not too. I don't think that's pretty wrong tier name. We could also throw Leo in that tier. We could also throw Lima in that tier. Both players who have very notable results. Lima winning their first major in this season. I feel like it's just a top 20 area. But yeah, but I'm just gonna put a bunch of players in here. I'm not gonna try and predict beyond 10. Um Shattuck, probably not, right? I don't even think Shaq has a top 50 case this season. We're going down the line now just to make my life easier. What are your major perform? Oh god, that's right. You bombed the Kagaribi. Uh, yeah, nothing here too crazy. Nothing here really to talk about. I'm just gonna do in the. I'm gonna make a tier at the bottom just called delete later. Hey, Willow, why are you licking my arm? What do you want, Bubba? What do you want? Easy to keep track of where I am. Meister. Meister hasn't really been to a lot this season. We haven't really seen a lot of Meister, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he exploded at Kulan. And I mean, the losses aren't horrible. Taike's fine. Light's pretty good. Didn't really beat anyone at Kagaribi, but then had a pretty good run. I mean, a solid, like, his list of wins are okay from Obaitori. Didn't really beat anyone at LG Madness. That's really it, huh? That's a big boss win. Pretty empty season. Pretty empty season. I'm still gonna say, like, I'll probably just call this tier top 50 contenders. I'm putting Meister here. Kind of empty though. I won't lie. He just hasn't really been to much though. And unfortunately, he kind of exploded at Kulan. Kagaribi is like whatever. Every player has weird results at Kagaribi. I'm not gonna like hold anything against you for that. but very weird dichotomy of results. I don't know. He is going to MomoCon, so like he definitely has the chance to build up more. He's probably also going to be a Gommel. Um, oop, sorry, I'm not taking that call. How's MomoCon looking right now? It tiered up to B plus, so it'll be a pretty like it will probably won't hit A, but it'll probably be like a good NA event. A few top players are going too. I feel like a lot are probably taking a break though after Kaguribi. Uh, Yoshidora. I feel like Yoshidora's also had a weird season. Like outside of Kulan, I can't remember. That's events. Outside of Kulan, I can't remember exactly what else Yoshidora has done. Like the Kulan's really good, really impressive run. Kaguribi's not too bad either. That's pretty solid. Nothing ish run at Sumabato. Not good run at Sumabato 57 again. I mean, for the most part, probably a top 50 contender. Not a lock, but definitely at least a contender. Um, like definitely on the higher end. I don't think he's a lock. I think it's hard to give anyone locks because you never know how things happen. Maybe as things go on, uh, maybe I'll rename this tier, but you know, I mean, it's like ninth. Losses to Carmelo and Rocky, losses to Mia and Motsinabe. Really soon about 57, that's bad. You know what? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He's probably a lock, considering that it's only the mid-year ranking. I'll change this. Top 20 contenders. Then I didn't really want to, but it's whatever. And then I'll call this lock for top 50. Or should I just say pretty likely a lock. Top 50. And then top 50 contenders. Jesus. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe more players will end up in that top 20 contender list as we go. We'll see. Snow. You know, I feel like Snow's having a worse season than last, if I'm not mistaken. Probably a top 20 contender, but maybe not, because I feel like his results are a little all over the place. Yeah, his big Saibuyeki run, at least he has his Ashima win and Aka win. Let's go third, soon about 55. So, like, there's some good stuff here. It's just, I feel like at the big important tournaments, outside of Kaguribi, he didn't really show up. But I wouldn't really say anything here is necessarily not top 50 level. He did kind of explode a battle BC and level up and Kaguribi. Oh no, he did fine at Kaguribi. 25. I keep forgetting. 25th Kaguribi, pretty damn good. I mean, he beat Light and Uwame. He feels pretty locked in for top 50. I don't think he's a top 20 contender, but he's definitely a lock for top 50. Cola. Cola is also a player I feel like when I think of their season this year, it feels a little all over the place. Maybe I'm just misremembering. I mean, we know he bombed at Kaguribi, just kind of getting exploded. Probably just lost the ball and then mentally just tuned out. Pretty good losers run at level up. I mean, still beat Ken at Battle BC for 17th. That's not bad. The 5th at Calf Clash was like solid. That Wrath wins age 12. Beast Mode Paul wins pretty good too. Those wins at Genesis are also aging pretty well. Yeah, locked for top 50. Top 20 is going to be tough. I don't know how many people I like. All right, I could just do this, right? I don't think Mars has been too enough for me to even consider it. Like he has his Mia win, but I don't think that's nearly enough to really be in contention. Like I don't. All right, I guess we're looking at it. Okay, you know what? Chat, you convinced me. We don't have to. Good. Yeah, put in the delete later. Shiny Mark. Probably a top 20 contender. Probably one of the few players who might be a top 20 contender. I don't think he's super high up there, but he's had a pretty good season. Like he just topped 8 level up. I think that was the last thing. Yeah. Beating Syrup and Ouch. Top 16 being, I mean, he's finding good wins at these events, even if he's not getting super high placements. Yeah. Um, very solid season. I think probably in contention for top 20, but definitely on the lower end if I were to come up with an opinion for that. T. Another player I think who might be in contention for top 20. If I did, I always forget. Did T top 8 Genesis? Or was that last year? He did. He topped 8 Genesis both years in a row. That's right. Uh, he hasn't really been to a lot. Yeah, probably not top 20, but definitely top 50. Ken, I don't even need to really look at. He's top 50. I mean, we could look at him briefly, but he's not on the higher end of top 50, but like it's top 50. Maybe lose to Kagaribi. Game Watch, I don't know, and Siski. Got it. Ken's really fucking weird, but he's definitely top 50. Yeah, that's essentially what I feel as well. Like it's hard to really put where he is, but he has some wins that are aging pretty well. He has some good tournament placements. He beat Dormigi, which is definitely a big boon this season. Like he beat Raru, which has definitely gotten a bigger win. Feels kind of hard to say he's not top 50, right? Like it's a really weird season. Oh, hi, Shotty Mark. Welcome. Yeah, keep up the good work. You're doing pretty fucking well this season. Ken's just every top 50 Japanese player this season. I don't really know how to like. This season is weird. It's a very weird result. It's like he has solid placements and solid long. It's a little all over the place. It's very Japanese. You know what? I don't know. I don't know where to put him. Oh shit! There goes my mic. Shiny Mark, are you attending anything outside of Comic Palooza this season? You actually no, you're going to France too. That's pretty cool. You'll see more seasons like this are top 50. Shit. Those two Ngamo props, sweet. Hell yeah. Kick ass, man. I'm gonna keep this to like the definite locks. I'm putting Ken down here. I don't know how to deal with your season. It's weird. The top 50 for a lot of Japanese players is gonna get weird due to like I feel like a lot of their results have been in flux recently. Kind of just all over the place. I don't think Rio is a contender. I think he's had a really good battle BC, but I don't remember him doing anything. You think me not attending Kagaribi hurt? I mean, that's every player who didn't attend Kagaribi. That's probably gonna hurt. But also, you didn't explode at Kagaribi, so that's also a big deal. So you never know, right? Um, that being said, you don't need Kagaribi to be top 20 or top 10 in the world. Like what placing do you think a Kagaribi run was positive for a player? I assume someone like Kola really hurt from it. Yeah. Kola definitely has something hurt. I think like if you made it to top 32, you probably beat some good players along the way. And you probably lost to players who were, you know, pretty good. Yeah, 49th at Kagaribi is also pretty solid run. Like if for it to be like an overall net positive, I'd say top three. Yeah, day two in general is not a bad signifier. Because you probably ended up fighting players who are notably good at that point and either beat them or lost to them, so it's not nearly as impactful. Um, at least if I had to take a guess. The thing is, like, we've never had an event with this high of a value in the algorithm, so I have no fucking clue how it's going to handle it. I think Stuart, our main algorithm handler, is very uh very nervous about it, and we're gonna see how it goes. So we'll have to see. Um, but I don't think like not attending Kagaribi hurts your chance at making top 20 or even top 10 if you just do well at your other events, you know? Like there's so many other events, and I think at the end of the day, one event shouldn't be the dictator of a complete season. Curious to see what the first try on the algorithm looks like. Honestly, most of the time they're not bad. Um, most of the time, like we don't really need to tweak much. It's just that this one event is probably what's going to be like a, okay, we might need to like figure out how much we want to rein this event in terms of its importance and how much it actually impacts once the first time it's run, because that's going to be like a, oh, if it's the main determiner of a player's season, then that's not cool. Like that's not something I think anyone wants. But yeah, don't think it should be an issue. Who am I on, Rio? Probably not. Yeah, like I don't even feel like I need to dig into these runs. This Coolon was pretty good, but Cole at like 80th. Yeah, exactly what I mean. Like if there's something that's like heinous or really bad, it's not worth doing, you know? Good morning, Mr. Freezy. European, right? Ugh, Europeans. I'm kidding. Hi, Alice. Welcome, welcome. Rio, probably just put down here. It's 2 a.m. in Europe. That's not the point. I was just saying hi. Why do you say good morning? It's like 6:30 p.m. over here. I don't like I'm like struggling to remember so many people's seasons because it feels like a lot of player seasons are all over the place like this. Um yeah, he started the season really strong. Smash awesome. It's just it kind of started to downward spiral a little bit. Really was cool on Peanut Sonics. He kind of stopped winning. So he might get carried through his early season results because there is some pretty good stuff here early season. Weird event. Yeah, the Smash awesome, like Mia win, and then but the thing is he hasn't really improved upon his wins. It's just Japan this season. Yeah, I know. I think some are a little bit better than others. Uh well, hate to do it. The Japan tier. Japan is kind of messy, but they could be top 50. Just throw them on in here. Alice, I think Alice had a good start of season. I don't remember what they've done since. Oh no, that's not a good start. What happened here? I mean, they won't beat Naya at least like Cafeteria Cup. This is a weird season. What the fuck? I feel like I'm going through a fever dream of these seasons right now. That's multiple Ashima wins. Is that really enough right now? I don't know. I don't think so. Honestly, I wouldn't even put this in like the actual top 50 Japan Messi tier. You go into top 50 contenders tier. You're not in the tier above. Beast Mode Paul we haven't seen in a while, but I remember Beast Mode Paul having a very, very good season for what he's been to so far. BMP Genesis is great. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. BMP Genesis, like Tweak Raru is aged very well. I mean, this is a pretty good start. We haven't seen him. He also has the Lima win too. Definitely not a lock for top 50. I don't know where to put you. I'll say pretty likely. He is going to MomoCon, so we'll at least see him there. No, I'll put you in contenders for now because you just haven't attended a lot, but very good for what it is. So I'll put you. I'm not ordering these tiers. What am I thinking? No fucking way am I ordering these tiers. Riddles is weird. I remember Riddles not really having much of a season until Kaguribi, so I don't really know how to look at his season because his Kaguribi was really good. Like, really good. Ninth year is no joke. Roderick Spargo Carmelo is a crazy set of wins. And he beat Monty at Level Up, who's also been doing pretty well. And didn't really lose to anyone too bad. And like his BC's fine, regionals, whatever. And Karama's also not a bad win at Genesis. I mean, he's at least a contender. It's not a lock. He's definitely a contender. I don't know if like I could call him a one-run Randy though. But we're all probably gonna start running into some random one runners. I'm realizing too that we're gonna need to talk about. Oh boy, we're running out of tier spaces. This is getting messy. That's about right, right? Just move Alice down a tier. I feel like I'm gonna need a new name for this tier soon. Rarix, I feel like I know he's had some weird ups and downs, but I think he's had a lot more ups than downs. I think it's pretty fair to say that he's just locked in for top 50 this season. It's a little messy, but it's kind of hard for me to it's a little all over the place, but his highs definitely at least help with his valleys. Like he started the season with a second place, He has his Doramigi win, has an Ashima win, Akak win, some weird events, not great losses. God, your season's weird. Uh, like once again, what the fuck is this season? But at the same time, he at least has like some really good like fifth at Delta, beat Tama P. Like overall, there's still enough here that it's not horrendous. He was to it. He was immune. Yeah, beat Reflow. Yeah, like I think he's all over the place, but his highs are really strong. He's volatile, but it's kind of hard for me to see him not ending up in the top 50 with what he's done so far this season, is what I'm trying to get at. I think he's pretty locked in for top 50 with, even though he's messy, but he's less messy than the players below him. I'd say that. Rocky, yeah. Honestly, he might be in the same tier as with Rarix of like it's messy, but that's events pretty strong. I know he has one tournament where he fucking bombed really hard. Where is it? Yeah, first of the season, just bombed at Smash Awesome. At least the second loss is the Leaf, so it's not awful. But the rest of this isn't too bad in terms of his negatives. I mean, he beat Leo and Omega and Shiona Kulan. His Obaitori, I mean, beat Mark, who's been pretty solid this season, as well as Gorioka. Like, once actually, no, this is really not that bad. Got an Anin win, a Battle of BC. This really isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. He has some really weird losses, but it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this run. This is a crazy run too. I think Rocky feels pretty locked into top 50 as well. Like he has that insane peak run at the very beginning of the season with Maisuma top one, beating Mia Carmelo and Yoshidora and Ken and Alice twice. Like this run's insane. But he does have at least some other things to back it up. Most notably, that Anin win at Battle BC is pretty good. Is aging really well. His Kulan was actually really good, beating Leo, Shion, and Omega. I mean, even his Obaitori runs, like it's good depth wins. He has some silly losses, but like everyone does. Funny season. I think this is fair. I think Rocky is probably, even if it's not like the highest, he's probably top 50. Like I can't see him not being in the top 50 with what he has. Louis Money, where has he been? I don't remember what Louis Money season is. I think he won Eugene Bound, but I'm once again in events. God damn it! But I don't recall what he's done besides that. Louis Money has no wins. We'll have to see. You're probably right because I feel like I just haven't seen him this season. First big event was LMBM. Got ninth. Kind of an empty run. I'm not gonna lie. Probably because there's a decent amount of upsets at tournament. Genesis 25th. Best win of Apollo Kage. Yeah, he just doesn't really beat a lot of big guys. There's a Monty win who's been pretty good this season. Yeah, just a very empty season. I'm gonna add a row below here. We're gonna call this. Oops. Up. Fuck. Fuck. Jesus Christ. No. We're gonna call this tier very strong baseline, but needs to beat people ranked above him. There's probably going to be more players who end up in this tier, to be fair. But this is definitely I like if he goes off these next 2 months, he could get there because his baseline of like not losing isn't bad. But it needs to be a little more, if I have to say. Wrath should be in that tier, not gonna lie. But the thing is, Wrath is making top 50. Like, there's no world where he doesn't. Even if his season's silly, it's like there's no world he doesn't make top 50. Navy has not existed this season. Wish he just beat people. I think he'll probably like have a good Momocon run or something like that. If he goes, he's actually not registered last time I checked, but I'm assuming he ends up going because it's right in his backyard. Taike, I don't really remember you doing too much if I'm being real. Beat Monthia Genesis. Like, even his 7th at Callan 15, like, it's the best win of Reno and I guess Lunamato now. I just looked at 81 people and Taike was 81. Yeah, I don't see anything for him either. Oh, he beat Meister Kaguri. That's cool. I forgot about that. So much happened. I don't think Taike has a shot. Waka probably doesn't have a shot either because his only major was, well, his major was Kaguribi, and it was like a solid Kaguribi performance, but I don't remember him beating anyone super big there. Waka is pretty good. No, I don't disagree. Waka is pretty good in general. He farms his regionals. I feel like he beat, yeah, he has a set win on Spargo this season already, which is crazy. And like, he does pretty well his regionals. He gets some weird placements sometimes, but I want to look at Best of the West. He lost to Chag and Shattuck, which is like fine. Who did he beat at Kaguribi? He lost really early to Ice Climbers, is what it fucking is. If you're playing against Ice Climbers, don't know it. He did beat Kaninabe, but that's like it. In terms of like wins of potential top 50 players, that's it. Waka in the wins character. See, he beat Spargo, but I think the Waka is more like just needs to attend majors, but he lives in Mexico and can't go to the States, so it's a problem. Like, that's essentially his whole issue. I feel like he could easily be top 50 again if he's able to get more opportunities. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like he makes top 8 at S Factor and then he gets ranked top 50 because he's just fucking good. Yeah, Waka would greatly benefit from playing other players besides the same 3 guys. Yeah. Who is top 1 right now? Probably Akala, but Dormigi and Hurt are definitely in contention. At least he'd be kind enough, but yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, like Waka doesn't really fit in any of these tiers, so I think he's just going here. Masa, has Masa done anything? Why can't Waka come to the US? It is a visa issue. You can't get a visa to come to the States to compete. That is the extent of a lot of Mexican players. But he didn't require a visa to attend Japan. Honestly, if he just farms his locals and then flies to Japan to compete maybe like once a year, that's pretty cool. Because he said he wants to go and compete there more often, or like actually go back. So we could see Waka back in Japan, which is like such a weird crossover considering he can't go compete anywhere else in North America. Rima wins age pretty well. Got 7th my Suma top 1. I didn't even realize. Roxman's pretty solid. Yeah, just not top 50. Just looking at this. Sin. I know Sin got 9th at a major, as per tradition, as Sin does. Sin even have enough events? Sin doesn't even have enough events. Beat Candle. Just going down here. No, actually, I think it's fair to put Sin here. I think it's fair to put Masa here too, actually. Masa has a pretty strong baseline, I feel like. Smashers app, stop lying to me. Wrath isn't top 10 anyway, so one top 8. The thing with Wrath, as we were talking about earlier, is that he has 0 wins on any of the other players who are in contention for top 10, which is kind of a big deal because a lot of them have wins at least on each other. Where Wrath, who has been very consistent, is kind of tough to like push ahead of the competition that way if you've not beaten them or gone the head-to-heads against them, which is kind of his biggest issue. Like most of the players who are in that category, he's lost to. Actually, never mind. Moss is just not contending. Do you think this offseason will be Japan dominated? We're about to find out. That's what we're doing this for. Never mind. You're down here. Mid-year shaping up to be very Japan before you has a lot of NA events. That could be shit. That could be. I feel like there's also going to be probably a shocking amount of EU in top 50 compared to usual, because they have 4 majors this first half of this year, and they're honestly not really doing too bad this season. And plus, Gluto is definitely a high value win, so if you beat Gluto, that's a pretty big deal. The only real NA event, and NA only event this season was LMBM. I'm pretty sure Gommel will probably be NA only as well. Gommel's not an event that usually has players from outside of NA, maybe some EU, but like it's pretty NA dominant usually. Peepnut. Kind of a nothing LMBM. He's beaten Lima at some of these. He's definitely like doing pretty solidly this season. A lot of regionals. Pretty solid Kagaribi. And pretty solid Kulan. He's good. It's definitely. Where do I want to put him? He's better than Alice, but like he's not defined. He's not a lock. I'd say he's just a contender. He's just a contender. Motsunabe, I feel like is also just a contender. Or is he in the weird Japan tier? I feel like I haven't seen a lot from him though. I feel like he did 1 major top 8 early in the season, but I don't recall him actually doing a lot. Yeah, he has some weird losses. You lost to Mahuyo Joe. Come on. You lost to DDD. This is the big run. Soon by the 55. Be Kainami Shidora, Fire, and Daigoro. He also has a first at a B tier, B plus tier now. Rima wins definitely aging. We'll look at his bigger events, kind of get a better gist of what he's done. I mean, those are a pretty solid collection wins, Tarkov and Neo. He's definitely a contender. That's about it, though. Siski, I think Siski also joins the Defined by 1 run, but that run is pretty good, right? Like his GSM run is really good, but I feel like he hasn't really done a huge amount else, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I mean, it's solid. It's actually not that strong. I was kind of thinking that was a bigger. I'm thinking of Reflow. I'm thinking of Reflow. Reflow had the really big GSM run. I mean, he's at least a contender, but is he? It's kind of tough. I don't really know where to put him. I forgot he lost to Zozef at Virtuosity. We need to get Zozef out to events. In my mind, it's Reflow and Siski have crazy GSM runs, but they're top 50 locks. Yeah, it's really just Reflow. I keep forgetting that Siski's wasn't like that big. He just beat Ashimo, which was a pretty big. Honestly, I think Ashimo. I feel like Siski might be down here. Zozef Agamel is a need. I want that guy to be top 100. I feel like it's probably tough. Like we haven't seen him overseas at Gamel since 2022. I feel like. But yeah, I would love to see one of my favorite sets still. Like it's definitely up there as one of like the coolest sets that I think I've watched was Rox versus Zozef at Gamel. It's the most how the fuck is this matchup even happening tournament like set that ever happened, but it's a really good set. Like it's two really evenly matched players and went to game 5, I'm pretty sure. If I'm recalling correctly. Very, very fun set. Oh yeah, I think Siski goes down here though. Who the fuck am I thinking of next? It's Shirayuki. By the way, I'm not going through the whole top 150. There's definitely gonna be players that just we skip over because there's just nothing to really talk about them. Chirayuki did top 8, one of the Sumabatos, yeah. Think's kind of just been fine, right? Even then, this like run isn't huge in terms of the wins. It's the really weird Sumabathon that I'm thinking about it. Did get some wins at Cafeteria Cup. Honestly, kind of empty. I feel like Shirayuki is pretty much in that very strong baseline, but needs to beat people ranked above him. Kind of missing those wins, but honestly, not terrible elsewise. Alan Dis, we're not talking about because he hasn't attended a major. Fleet, what the fuck has Fleet done? Why did Fleet go solo Joker at Kagaribi, or like primarily Joker at least? What a random ass run. I'm convinced that wasn't Fui. I would feel like this is probably not worth looking at. Yeah. Yeah, not worth looking at. Do you see what he did at WSP Freezy? It was a horror story. Why did he get DQ'd? Does anyone know why he got DQ'd? Or was that not WSP? Oh, dude, Java was pretty solid. I mean, he's kind of defined by his one run, but like, we need to get him out to more events. Jazzo to me is the defined by one run, but it's a really good run right now. I think he can do a lot better. He's definitely gonna be at Momocon. I think there's some players if he beats at Momocon, he'll definitely pop off more into top 50. But right now he's kind of defined by his level up run. Pretty good player. Perrin box. I don't recall much for Perrin box either. This is probably another player that's not really worth looking at. I didn't even realize Will was just hanging out behind me right now. I mean, off a glance of just placements, this doesn't look that bad, but let's actually look at wins. Umeki, pretty solid. I mean, those losses really aren't that bad. Remu wins aging well. These losses really aren't that bad. Orca's, I mean, not the greatest, but like for the most part, this is definitely a pretty good baseline. Yeah, he went off at the Sumabato and got some pretty decent wins. Also did pretty well to Obaitori, actually. This is definitely a very strong baseline, but needs to be people ranked above him type of player. Level 1. I recall level 1 when I looked at the season last time was not great. And then he just kind of went off at Kagaribi, and I don't know what to do about it. Okay, just consistently whatever it looks like. Well, it looks like he's just not beating people, if that's what I'm getting at this. That's right, he beat Quid. That's funny. Yeah, it's like once again another really good baseline outside of losing to random ass Kazuya. But like he's still getting 17th and he beat Shiryuki at the place, was like solid enough. Yeah, you're going in. This is like there's gonna be a lot more players in this tier than I thought. This is gonna be an interesting tier. He keeps getting empty brackets or getting upset. Yeah. At least he beat Leo, but like the buzz goes in there. Defined by one run buzz that runs pretty good. That's his LMBM run. I know he also did get some good I know he did get some good wins at Scarlet X. He beat Jackal and Tweak, but like his season is essentially defined by his 5th at LMBM where he beat Tweak, Light, and Riddles. The rest of it's been fine. That random ass Kazuya also beat Allison Beasley. Do not fuck with Inabakoshi Hoshiyomi. All right. Whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever. Leia, I don't think has been existent. I hate to put Zach right here, but he's definitely not there. Chicken hasn't been existent. Do I even want to look at Kome? I know Kome's at least top data major at the beginning of the season, but is he even worth looking at right now? Probably not. Yeah, he did the really good Sumobato run. He's just Sumobato posting. Beat Ashimo Kainabe. That's actually pretty solid list of wins, but I don't think he's really done anything outside of that. Probably just gonna end up in the top 100 based on what's here. Yeah, not really worth talking about. I know Nyono Konbu had a pretty good run. Kome's fine actually as Ashimo. Yeah, he's like fine, but he's definitely not anywhere. Not anywhere, but he's not close to the top 50. Nyono's weird. Yeah, I could see that. Beat Cannon Smash awesome. Kind of weird my Suma top 1. Honestly, a net negative on my Suma top 1, I'd say. These aren't bad losses for a 65th. What the fuck happened this event? Lost the trigger. The fuck? Why do you lose the trigger? I hear you, Brody. I'll let you out in a second. This is a weird season. I don't know what to make of this. Like, what the fuck do I do with this? That's what I'm. Fuck it. Uh, that's a haunt to me, man. All right, my dogs are itching to get out. Let me just take them out real quick. They've probably been drinking a lot of water because it's been so hot out. Yeah, I know. You're looking at my chair because you need to go. I know. I'm about to take you. Don't worry. You might also need water. I know. Give me a second. Much, much better. It's actually not hot as shit outside right now, so. Well, not, shouldn't say it's hot, but the back of my house now finally has cooling. All right. Where were we? Where were we? Candle. I don't know why I'm putting headphones on. I'm not listening to anything. Candle. Man, as a Candle fan, I'm a little disappointed that we haven't. Fortunately, it just doesn't seem like it's enough. Yeah. Sorry, Candle. Crepe. Candle might be baseline. You know what? Actually, that's a really good place to put Candle. You're right. You're right. That's a really good place to put Candle because Candle's baseline's really good this season. Crepe is interesting because I think outside of Genesis, he really hasn't been performing that badly. It's just that like one weird Genesis and then that one event where he just decided to lose to like Wii Fit Trainer round 2 or something like that. Do I really need to get the fucking capitalization 5-1 on Gluto this season? Yeah, that's pretty big. Gotta change him to them, and that's your. You know what? Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Grape. That's Twitter. I don't want Twitter. Get here. Very annoying. I have to do this. There we go. I mean, I want to say he's probably top 50, but I want to just make sure. GSM got 9th to Ashman Flow, but beat Super Semi is pretty good this season. Has doubled quite a few wins on Susu's been doing pretty good this season. Also, Tarkados is interesting. Gluttony, yeah. I mean, even then, 33rd's not bad. He just lost to OJ Wadler, but like, it's a bad loss, but it's not like he ended in the worst spot possible. He won GamesCon over Gluttony. This is, yeah, he might just be top 50 this season, like just straight up. This is a pretty. He beat Torigiri and Waka here too. Like, this is a pretty good tournament overall. He lost to Danny and Rio at Kulan, but he beat Omega. You know what? Yeah, I'm pretty cool with just saying, uh, feels pretty locked in for top 50, right? Like, I don't know. This feels pretty good overall. Some weird C tier losses, but like for the most part, better than most of the players we've been talking about so far today. Torigiri. Uh he's in one of these two tiers. I need to look at his actual results, but I'm pretty sure he's just good. It's looking like the Japan tier. Yeah, it's probably the Japan tier without even needing to open up these results. But I know he's overall been doing. He's like found some pretty good wins here and there. Uh, yeah, beat Sparkle Genesis. That's right. I mean, the second Grand Slam's pretty good too. Actually, won an event over here. Yeah, no, he might just be in the tier above, to be honest. Because like even his bad placements aren't necessarily bad. My dog's playing. He lost to Quid. That's funny. Like that Quid run in Japan's so funny. We're gonna be talking about Quid later today, but I'll keep him in the Japan's kind of messy, but they could be top 50 tier. But he's probably at least up here. He feels pretty locked in. Gorioka, I don't think is in contention this season. Oh geez, he bombed a Kagaribi. He started the season off pretty strong. Did find a Raruin. Raruin's aging pretty well. I mean, those are pretty good losses. That's not great. It's also not great. It's kind of fine, nothing. Not great. He has some pretty like he had a pretty solid highs in the start, but I mean, like his losses aren't the end of the world. He has some solid wins here and there. Oh, I forgot he got third at Sumabot though. That's a pretty good run. You know what? I'll at least put him in contention. But like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced, but I'll put him in contention. I think that's a good way of putting it. Sorry, Jogabu, you're retired. Akio, I know, hasn't done anything outside of that one local. I'm pretty sure it was a local. Because that local is really good, but I'm pretty sure he's done nothing outside of that, unfortunately. Yeah. Not going to bother looking at the rest here. Skeleton isn't up there. Suna. Akio is not. He's just no. Akio is just no. That is not the right Suna. Looking a little promising already. Let's start with my Suna top one. Not really great. Yeah, just really the Obaitori run, huh? And it's not even that strong of a run. Okagaribi's pretty solid, actually. Didn't know Suna's 61st points in a row. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that either. Didn't realize it. I think Suna's in the baseline tier. Pretty solid. Just the wins on like the players up around here are a little lacking. There's a very funny chance Suna's 61 again. You know you're not wrong. That's a pretty good place to honestly put him. All right. We do have to talk about Rimu because Rimu did have that pretty insane run at Kagaribi. So that's like that's something we gotta kind of talk about, huh? I don't know if Rimu has anything else. I also haven't been paying attention much to Rimu's season outside of that event. Oh, Rimu's attended a lot. Okay. We're gonna just scan through this really quickly. Weird Roses run. Okay. I mean, they have some regional wins here and there, but this is feeling like a one run definer. What is this event? Yeah, this is absolutely a one run definer. It's very hard not to be defined by one run. Your one run's that good. Yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, like, very good. Milna, I think, is like pretty high up there in terms of, right. It's like one word on Smashers Up. Like, very good season if I'm recalling correctly. Start back with Smash, awesome. Not a great start to the season by the looks of it. I mean, BMOS not 33rd still pretty good. Found the Kenwin at Sabugeki. Right, I forgot Malno went to Genesis and got 33rd, beat up Halkaka. That's pretty funny. I'm kind of looking for something big in terms of wins. Because that's what I feel like I'm seeing right. Like, from what I'm seeing right now, that feels a bit lacking. Losses are fine for the most part right now. Maybe I'll hit the big win soon. But like, what's the big defining? Like, what's your? It feels like a lot of depth. Like, the right now, the best win I've seen is Rarix. It's good. I don't know. I don't know if I convinced. Like, this is like a. I'm putting in top 50 contender at least. But it's a similar problem to the players down here where, like, I'm not convinced win wise he should be. Hmm, he doesn't have a peak. He's very consistent. Yeah, like he doesn't have a peak, but he's very consistent. But like, his consistency feels better than the players who are down here. At least that's what it feels like. I'm gonna put him at least in contenders. I don't think he's anywhere around the players above because he is missing a bit of that peak. But he's definitely a contender. Is Anarchy the baseline? I feel like Anarchy like had some really good regional performances. I can't remember their major performances. I feel like he almost beat a lot of good players, but barely loses like Gluto. I mean, Gluto beat a lot of good players, but yeah. Oh, you mean, sorry, misread that. Yeah, he comes to game 5 to a lot of players. He's really good. He just needs to clinch the win. Honestly, he kind of sounds like he belongs down here in this tier with the players who aren't really beating big names. I feel like these tiers might need to be swapped. You know what? No, I'll put him in top 50 contenders. I'll put him in top 50 contenders because I still think his season is better than every player that's in this portion right here. Anarchy's probably not. Like, this Redshift was pretty good, but probably just not right. Baseline, yeah. Yeah. Umeki. Oh god, Umeki's probably in the Japan's confusing as fuck tier. I know Umeki has some good wins, but I know Umeki also has some fucking really bad lows this season. So let's see where we go with this one. uh fine. Fine. Actually, meh. fine-ish, good, pretty good, pretty damn good. How do I even make sense of your season? Dude, I don't know what to do with Umeki. Top 50 contender. Because I don't even feel like Umeki stands with the players above here, at least in terms, because the lows are blows. The lows are not great. So, top 50 contender. That's where you belong. Reflow feels pretty locked in for top 50. Like, Reflow feels pretty locked, if I'm not mistaken. I think Reflow season's been really, really good, if I'm not mistaken. That third at GSM was crazy. Craig lit the snow. Good regional performances. Just not going to look at the wins because it's not really worth it. I mean, even the losses for Genesis are good. It's just a nothing event then. Gamescom also feels a bit nothing, but like nothing's better than bad. Like some of the other major performances aren't like super amazing, but he's making up for it at other performances and other events. So like I feel pretty good about Reflow this season actually. I feel do I want to say lock or do I want to say defined by one run? Because GSM is like no, because the other runs and the other regional runs are pretty good, and I'm sure he has regional wins on other players that I'm not looking at right now. He's definitely a lock for top 50. Oh boy, Shion. Oh no. How do I deal with you? Definitely going to be one of the weirdest players. Probably in the Japan tier of all things. Incredible start to the season, if I recall. Like a fine smash, awesome. Very good Sumabato 54. Fine my Suma top 1. Nah, Saibugeki. Bad Sumabato. And then, oh, we're back. We hurt. We fucking back. We beat Raru and hurt. Yeah, I remember Shion's season being fucking weird. I don't even want to like go through all of these because I already know what tier I'm putting him in. He's just going into Japan's kind of messy, but they could be top 50. They're just as a sure, man. I mean, fine Kunlun. Actually, I'd say like solid Kulan, solid Kaguribi. Like it's most of it is fine and solid. I mean, like he finds some wins at these regionals too. Yeah, he's could be top 50. I think those hurt wins are a big push for him. Uwame, if I recall, Uwame's doing pretty well. Uwame's pretty solid. Like the low key kind of solid. The fifth at Smash also like the Carmel wins aging amazingly, and there's some pretty solid wins in here too. Not so good Saibageki, but then like maybe I'm just remembering the beginning of the season because the rest of this isn't like that impressive. This is pretty solid. What did you do at Kaguribi? Did you beat anyone? No. All right. You're a baseline tier. Mutace, fucking probably Mute might end up being a lock. I don't know. I remember Mute having some pretty crazy runs later in the season, but some not so in the beginning. Yeah, not the greatest LMBM, but like a fine afterburner. What's the Battle BC? Did you beat anyone here? Paul Kage again, the Los Embozi. It's these two runs I'm like interested in. Hmm. Mute's kind of in the one run tier, I feel like. Well, actually, no, because you also have the LG Madness, which I didn't click on. Uh this run really depends on Meister doing well this rest of the season. Uh Japan tier. Uh we're just gonna rename the tier because I feel like that is essentially what Mute belongs in. Yeah, those runs are amazing. Like this one, I think kind of depends a bit on Meister's performance and Mars's performance too, to be frank. But that Kagaribi run's pretty damn crazy. Oh, I'm getting texted by. Okay. Sorry about that. Kagari Fusion Sonic when a B tier. Yeah, seriously. Mute's pretty good though. I think Mute will definitely like I think Mute can clean it up with like some pretty good runs at the remaining events. I could see Mute doing well at MomoCon and Comic Palooza and Gommel. I think Mute will probably just make it in, because I think they're on an upward swing right now. How the fuck do you rank Lugi? Because it's just Genesis and regionals. Lugi comes down to the rest of the majors. But like, how the fuck do you rank this? Going in the one run tier. There you go. You know what? That's where we're going. One run. I think Lugi might end up getting ranked high if he does really well at 95 and Uzis, but it's kind of really hard to talk about Lugi without I can't really give you the fair evaluation based on these events in UK. Like, sure, you're dominating your region, but the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I do think Lugi, like, if Lugi ends up just top 8ing both of the A tiers, he just might end up in the top 20. There's nothing you can do about it. What's that? You know what? Yeah, I can't believe I have to make a new fucking tier, but we're making a new fucking tier. That's gonna go here, and we're gonna call this the attend more events, please. And 1, 2. Wrath is good. I can't really do that with Wrath. Wrath is a little tougher to. These two, they're going there. I can't really do that to Wrath because he has at least 3 majors. Actually, does Wrath make attendance right now? He has 4 no, he made attendance. Fuck, I can't do that for Wrath. Yeah, Yara is gonna end up there. Zap hasn't really been entering events. I feel like Big Boss is a contender, right? Big Boss has been pretty solid. Surprised how many players I'm talking about this far down. To be fair, Lugi also makes attendance. I don't fucking care. Attend more events. I'm not talking about you. Big Boss. Mexican regionals. Also K on Jess. That's interesting. Yeah, the big one here is this event, Gamescom, where he got third. Also Super Sonic twice, but he beat Spargo, Susu, and Tarek, which is a pretty good collection of wins at an EU event. Those are some interesting losses. Actually, he might go in the one run tier. Because even like this run's good, but it's not amazing. Yeah, Big Boss goes in the one run tier. Calf Cup is good. Did I not look at Calf Cup? Did I skip over it? That's solid. Yeah. That's pretty good. I do think though his whole thing is based on one run. No. Because that one run's not even like super, super good. So I'll put him in contenders. He's a contender. Ike, I'm pretty sure I don't need to look at Ike or Karage. Monty is a contender. I don't think he's a lock, but he's very good. His just early season's rough, if I recall. Like his early season's not amazing. And then you get to bout like Eugene Bound, where you got some pretty good depth wins. Battle BC, where you beat Hurt, Light, and Rocky and Riddles. And then it's like Worst of the West, he beats Spargo, which is a pretty big deal. And then male level up. Is it, you know what, his Spargo one's good, but like let's be real. It's the 1 to 2 runs, but it's good. He's definitely up there. Drivey, we don't talk about. Neo is pretty good this season. I'm not mistaken. Neo's on a pretty good season. That BOBC run might put him in a single run tier. That's why I put him. Yeah, I think like even though he has the Spargo win on the other one, that run is pretty crazy. Yeah, Neo, if I recall, he's very good this season. We're starting in November. I don't think you beat Gacta versus Festival. Gacta hasn't really been relevant. I did beat Raro at Sumabato, the one other Japan major he went to. Just kind of farmed India for a bit for some reason. Went to Qatar, beat Cosmos. Oh, this run's pretty crazy. Yeah, he just probably is a lock for top 50 pretty easily. I don't see how he's not. And yeah, he also beat yeah, he's just top 50. Let's just put him up there. Just a lock for top 50. Don't really, let's just move things along to probably another Ha player, which is Yone P. I don't think there's any other player that defines Ha besides this one. How the fuck do I define Yone P season? This is easily a Ha. This is a Pichu moment of a season. Just results are kind of all over the fucking place, man. I don't really know how you make this, what you even do with this season. UNP always spawns in top 100, yeah. It's just because he has like the second at. I could find it. Am I too far? No, this is it. He has this, but it's like a best win of Akaki Kusu. It's going in Ha. Don't know what else to really talk about. Super Semi pretty much is the one run. It's pretty good. I don't know if Super Semi ends up top 50 by the end of the half year season. I think like once again, it comes down to the two EU majors that are left. Yeah, that is a rough Kagaribi. But then you have wins on like fucking Leo and Spargo. I don't know what to make of your season. Then you lost the ball. Like, come on, man. This is tough. Yeah, I'll put you in contender actually. Oh, I forgot a tier that I was gonna have. It's fun the categories these tiers. As a major top 8. Taike goes in there. Masa goes in there. Kome goes in there. That's not Kome. Kome goes in there. It's Karage. Open the other Lumirink. She'd have all the top 8ers in. I don't think Karage does. No, not this season. That's it, actually. Wow. Is Rio really not made top 8 in major? That's crazy. Navy does? When? When did he top 8 in major this season? Yeah, this is. Sorry. This season. Yeah, that's everyone. And it's not a lot. A lot of people would be higher up. Fui has one. Fui has one. That's everyone though. Now. No. Actually, what has Now done this season? This is a curiosity. I don't think he's close to top 50, but what has he done? Because he's just a player who spawns in and finds random wins sometimes, and it's like, okay, sure. Kaguri's your only major, huh? I mean, it's not a bad major considering all things considered. Beat Mark. That's not even in season. Andres. GSM's meh. Not great. Probably as a Siski win at regionals. Didn't really do well there. Never mind, we're not looking at Andres. Yeah, sorry, Andres. Daigoro. I think it might just go in the has a major top 8 category. I don't know if Daigoro's done much outside of that. Yeah. I mean, it has some solid wins, but it's like, that's it, huh? Beat Yoshidora? What the fuck? Okay, sure. Yeah. Not really a contender, I'd say. I mean, his baseline, looking at his losses again. No, he has a lot of weird ones. He kind of has some weird ones. Yeah, nah. Nah. Ocha hasn't done anything this season. Mao hasn't done anything this season. I don't think Leaf's done much this season. Not much. He does have the major top 8. You are correct, but I think that's it. Yeah. Nothing else really of note. Oh, he did beat Ken at B Smash. That's pretty cool. Uh, whoa. Weird C tier run. Oh, he lost a Shiro on that one. That's right. Yeah, no. Good on him for the major top 8. Tarek, yeah, people said earlier in chat, he goes in the very strong baseline, but needs to beat people ranked above him. I feel like that's Tarek's MO most seasons. Just beat people above you, man. And he's come. I know it this season though. He's come very close compared to previous ones. He's gone game 5 with Light, went game 5 with someone else recently. Um, he's a contender, TBH. All right, we'll take a look. He's the mascot of that tier. Yeah, like I've always felt like that's where he belongs in that tier because he just doesn't. He just needs to clutch out those wins. But I know he's also like doing a lot this season. So those two sell. He beat Cripslate twice, who we're saying is probably a top 50 lock. He beat Super Semi twice at this event, if I recall. Yeah, Gamescom didn't really beat anyone. Kind of, he beat Monty at Cav Clash, so that's another potential top 50 win. Didn't beat anyone here. Did beat Reflow at Cafeteria Cup of all events. Like he has some solid wins, but it's like I don't know, man. He's a really tough player to always rank because his losses are really, really good. He and Mark are probably contenders despite not conching up often. They're kind of similar. I want to keep him here because like it fits his it's like that's essentially his MO. At least Malna like had wins over a decent amount of Japanese players that are so far listed above here. Tarek has beaten Crepe and Verflow, and I don't think that's really enough. And Monty, move Awami down. No, I think Awami belongs there. Oh, so the three grunts are together. That's funny. Uh, yeah. No, Tomego had like one solid run, but I think we're at the point where I could just start doing this. I don't really think there's going to be many players worth talking about in this tier. Tsubaki has a major top 8. I don't really actually. You know what? Let's take a look at Tsubaki. I feel like Tsubaki has some solid stuff. Not enough, but some solid stuff. Tsubaki's top 100. Yeah, he's definitely top 100. He does have a Carmella win. Does have a Carmella win. You know what? I think he goes in good baseline actually. Because I think if he pops off, he could do it, but also did I accidentally jump over anyone at the top? No, I didn't. Ferrara, I mean, always an interesting player to look at. I feel like they do pretty consistently well in majors. Definitely don't think they're top 50. I can't think of any like super big wins they got this season, but Ferrara is weird. Yeah, probably. Yeah, like I feel like they don't punch up a lot as like said, but they none of these losses are bad, man. Well, this is a D tier. Who gives a shit? None of these losses are really that bad. It's just he's not beating people. Like even this 33rd to Karaga and the Adon is not bad. Be Rocky at a D tier. That's pretty funny. He's just not beating anyone. Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. Um he kind of is in this tier, but not really, you know? Like his baseline's really strong, but I don't really like even his best wins don't feel that good. Yeah, I think he just stays in the top 8 section of the list. Uh, I don't remember Omega season. I know he beat me at Level Up Expo, but I don't know what else Omega has done. Does Omega have a major top 8? I don't think so, no. Um, 13th of LMBM, being BMP, who's doing pretty well this season. Beat Lima at a regional. He didn't lose anyone here. This is feeling like a baseline, but he did beat Mia. Ferrara Man? Yes, Ferrara Man does have a major top 8. This Level Up Expo is going to age pretty well because of the Riddles win. But then lost to Ice Knight. He kind of bombed that Kagaribi though. Ooh, these are pretty good wins, but I don't really know where to put you. Where do I put you? Like this is a tough one because you're not really in contention. He's super semi, yeah, yeah. He kind of is super semi. I guess you're in contenders. Sure. I don't know where else to really put these two. They're like the opposite of the fucking Christ. Okay, here we go. Doop, doop, doop. Maybe not Mikey. Mikey probably could stay up there. Maybe. Sure. We'll just keep it as that for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Yo, Reno, we get to talk about my favorite player right now. Reno is popping the fuck off this season. I don't know if it's enough to be top 50, unfortunately, but dude's winning. He had a little rough of a start to the season, and then won a B tier. Using Greninja, what the fuck? Beat Ken Sonic with Byleth. Get the fuck out of here. That matchup sucks ass. This is probably a maybe a contender. I have to. What is his best win? It feels like his best win right now is Reflow. Oh right, he beat Otis. Hold on a moment. Yeah, you're a contender. Japan tier? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it is Japan tier. Yeah, you know what? Japan tier is a pretty fair point for Reno. Reno's pretty good this season. I don't really know where else to put him because he's been consistently pretty good. I'm a Reno believer, dude. I am too. He's amazing. Uh, Kind of getting to the point where we're getting to a lot of players we don't really need to look at. I think we should look at Got Cheapy at least. Look at Kiropanzu. Okay, I'll look at Kiropanzu after this. Oh no, he bombed at Kagari. What the hell happened? Remember his start of season was pretty good. He has he has a Mia win this season, right? Yeah, and a Rarix win. He might be a one runner. His season might be. I mean, this is solid. Like, there's some solid stuff in here, and then he kind of just explodes. You might kind of be more of a one runner, to be honest, because he has some solid stuff. That one run is pretty good. But is it good enough to be above these players? And the answer is kind of no, right? The answer is kind of no. I'll put him in contender, but I won't go any farther than that. All right, I'm told to look at Kiropanzu. Let's look at Kiropanzu. So he beat Raru at one event, then kind of nothing for a bit. No. Yeah, sorry, but no. That one Raru win ain't saving him. I don't remember Chase's season. I know Chase beat like one of B tier this season. I don't think it's enough. I just want to make sure I'm not misremembering anything. Yeah, he won Frosty Faustings over to Buzz. Okay, but okay, the rest of this isn't. The rest of this isn't really worth looking at. Nina has a win on Raro tier. Krakow has a major top 8. Not real this season. Orion has a major top 8. Pew's not top 50, but I know they're doing pretty well. The majority of these players are kind of at the point of like, we don't really need to look at them for top 50 till we get to the very bottom. Yo, I know Free K Fox not top 50, but we might have a Zelda in the top 100 because they've been playing out of their mind this season. And I honestly hope they get opportunities to leave Tri-State because their potential to like really do well at these events is kind of crazy. Like he beat Shiny Mark, which is insane. I don't know. He's pretty good. Yeah, I have Kuhako on top 8. He's over here. All right, I'm told to look at Sasusoro. So let's look at Sasusoro. Let's look at the USSR. I know apparently he has a win on Mio. I think it's Smash Awesome, right? Yeah. Is that it? Do you do anything else? Oh, this is a pretty good run. I mean, nothing else really. Yeah. You got one win. That's it though. I wouldn't really consider Sasutoro relevant here. Jackal, I don't know what you've been doing in the region. Jackal's always like he single-handedly exists to make me a season worse. I love him. That's silly. Jackal's just been quietly doing things in Tri-State. Beat Lima. Probably has some wins on like syrup and stuff. Beat Peepnut too. Mm. And went on Tweak DK. Yeah, I guess he did beat Tweak, huh? Hey, win's a win, man. Take what you get. That's rough. Yeah, probably not worth looking into or adding on here. Oh god, there's so many. We're almost at like the ones I added on. Skinny the Pooh, LOL. No. All right. Ball. Ready for the most annoying player we're gonna have to have on the rankings this season? Because what the actual fuck is this? GSM made top 8, beat Super Semi, 17th out of D tier, 33rd out of B tier, 49th at Delta. I didn't even know he entered Delta. At least he lost to competent players this time. And then 129th at Kagaribi beating Gola. We're going in the hot tier. That's all. That's where you belong. The fuck is this season? Fire. I heard Fire actually has a pretty good season so far. Yeah, he sure has a major top 8, but he does not belong in that tier. He originally belonged in that tier. Do not have Fire's Japanese tag in here. Do I have to put in the? I mean the yeah. Don't have the English tier. Probably have to put in the Japanese tag. Maybe. Oh, you just spell it with the 9, not in 1. Okay. Sure. God damn it. Because Smasher's app is wrong. Yeah. I've heard this season's pretty good. I know he has that one top 8 run, so he has a Torgiri run here. Rocky Neo wins pretty good this season. Jacobata's not a bad win for our Rock's not like a lot of good wins here actually. Nothing insane, but a lot of good wins. We do a Kagaribi. Who do you beat? Uwame? You beat Frontier, right? That's Frontier. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's Frontier. Almost beat Onin. That was a crazy set. Pretty good baseline. I'd say that. Pretty good baseline. Very strong baseline. Probably not a contender just yet, but definitely a top 100 player this season. Jacobata. I don't remember what you've done besides beat Raru. Have him top 50 TBH. I mean, I think those players, like, there's not going to be 50 players who we have above this. So, like, there's definitely players in this region that are top 50, probably. Uh, Honestly, not looking too bad. Weird loss here, but then had kind of, yeah, okay, this is, yeah. I mean, Pharaoh's like probably a top 100 win this season. Then the crazy third place here, beating Raro and Mildna. Uh, draw him in here. We do Kyrie. I mean, these are a good list of wins and losses for the most part. Is it enough though? The season's solid, but like, is it enough? That's where I'm kind of. Yes, he's probably a contender, I guess. Yeah, I'll put him in contender. He's probably a contender. That's crazy. I didn't even know he's been like having low key that solid of a season. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. Top 50 contender. Crazy. I didn't even realize like he's been doing that well. Who the hell am I up to now? Kaninabe, probably in the contender tier. Uh, I know he's had some weird dips, or maybe he's in the Japan tier. He might be in the Japan tier because he's been kind of all over the place, if I recall. Yeah, he started off the season amazingly. Uh, really, really strong runs right off the bat. And then we got some like weird fucking ones later down the line. Like, what happened here? What happened here? I mean, this is actually no, this is fine. Yeah, you're just going in Japan tier. I don't even need to look out much else. Japan tier. Went too far. He just runs into Steven Luigi sometimes that happens. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Kiarash because I feel like this is like a player I forgot even went on a run and beat people at level up. And I don't even know if they make season. Like, what other events have they attended? All right, well, they make season this ranking. Let's look at what you've done. All right, the regionals are just SoCal, whatever. Yeah, not really much to talk about. Genesis, fine. No, Cosmos Win ain't too bad. It's honestly not too bad of a run. It's whatever. And then yeah, we have the great run. Kirash probably just goes in the one run. Don't really know what else to do with him. Probably will end up top 50 just off that one run, which is insane. Mark. So I don't know Mark's wins. I know he's made some top eights this season. Who has he beaten though? Where does this even start? Oh my god. Milna here. It's very all over the place. Definitely very all over the place. And definitely like, yeah, not really finding a lot of big wins. Probably might not make. I mean, here we go. Toragiri win. That's really it, huh? Uh, yeah, kind of shockingly low on wins considering having some big major runs. I mean, these are some pretty good wins, but nothing big, right? Yeah, baseline, you're right. You are right. He is definitely a baseline merchant. That's a pretty good place to put him. Rotational door of Yoshi's. I don't know how Japan keeps spawning more. Masha. Masha even top 50? Probably not. Honestly, I don't even think he's been doing. He has like that one really amazing run. He's probably Masha the major winner. Yeah, how the fuck do I define Masha's season? He makes he beat Carmelo. That is something to note. And this Kyrie runs like it's fine. All right, you're going in one run, Randy, buddy. To one run deal, Randy, you go. Susu, uh, very interesting player this season. It's funny that like his Japan trip probably pushed him down, but for the most part, it's been doing pretty good in region. It's a little all over the place. I mean, he has a lot of really good regional wins. Like he's been holding it down and then just randomly blow it up at this place. But like his in region stuff's pretty damn good. And then you got fifth at GamesCon. I did beat Reflow. And then, of course, the big run was Cav Clash, where he beat Light and Cola. Beat Reflow again at Gaia. Then Japan's kind of where his season starts to fall apart, and it's a little hard to figure out what to do with him. Uh, he's probably just a contender, right? He's a little over the place, but he's probably just a contender. Oh my god, I don't think he is. I don't know, he's tough. I don't think Cole and Light wins are strong enough for him in contender, but I don't really know where else you put him. Because I think he has a better baseline than the players below him in that tier. And I don't think he's inconsistent enough because he has, like, for the most part, he has a lot of hot tiered. No, he's not hot tier. Like, he's a legit contender. Hot tier is for the fucking weirdos who aren't contending. The thing is, it's not just the Cole win and the Light win. He's also has like multiple wins on Reflow, who's definitely top 50. I feel like he's a contender. I feel like it's kind of hard to. His Japan trip is kind of what makes things look worse. It's Japan that makes it hard to really figure out where to put him. I'm keeping him in contender because I don't think the other tiers fit him because he doesn't feel inconsistent outside of Japan. I don't know. This is where I think he'd probably be because he is punching up above him with some of his wins. Japan events are kind of his biggest ones. Yeah, that's fair. The thing is, though, like, he didn't really lose to anyone that crazy. Like, his worst loss here is probably either Danny or Loaf. Legit 7 underperforms. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not scroll far down enough. I forgot about Ray Mari. All right. Fine. He's going into Omega tier. All right, fine. Teshi, you sure made a top 8. I don't need to look at the rest of your season. You sure made top 8 this season. Good job. Yara's in the 10 more events tier. I think that's pretty self explanatory. But I'm almost done. Don't worry. Cosmos. Outside of the Spargo win, I want to see what else this season is. Hi, Sam. Thanks for rating. We're talking about a lot of players. Are actually almost done, but I'll give a little brief run through once I'm done. But this video about to be gas. God, dude, I think I started this at the 1 hour 50 mark of my stream. This is gonna be a long discussion video that people could just watch. But yeah, we're currently talking about potential players for top 50. As you can see, it gets a little ridiculous with tiers right now because there's just a lot of different variables. We have 4 players left, but after that, I'll do a little run through of everything for everyone who just joined. Thank you for joining. Let's talk about Cosmos. So Cosmos, we know, has his big win at Best of West over Spargo, but I kind of want to see what everything else he's done. Season. So Reaper Invitational, didn't beat anyone. Genesis, overall fine. Torgear and Kirash are pretty good losses. Virtuosity beat Siski, so that's pretty notable. Didn't really do much at LG Madness. Then some Mexican events. Here's the big one where he beats Spargo. Yeah, so far just looking at this, it's overall fine. It feels like a pretty good baseline. I don't really see much else beyond that. Yeah, he needs a bit more. That's kind of it. God, there's too many players in this delete later tier. Very strong baseline. Just needs more. Karama. Oh, we're almost done, man. Chat, we are almost done. Karama top 50. He probably is. Out of the 3 events, I mean, his LMBM is nah. I don't know what to do this season. You have wins on Akala, Rules, P, Ruffalo, and Taike. I don't know where to actually put you because you're definitely not. I don't think that's enough to be top 50. Put in top 50 contender, but I don't know if I would put you much higher. Very good wins. I just hope we see him enter more events. I think he is registered for potentially other events. Because there's some, I mean, the Akala win's pretty big, and then of course, this is just a good slate of wins to suit things up. I think if he attends one more major, he'll probably have a good argument for top 50, but overall, wouldn't put him above the top 50 contenders just yet. Quid. I wanted to put Quid on here because I kind of wanted to see if he has anything else besides Sumabato. He did get 9th at Sumabato earlier this season. The most random event for Quid to be at, to be honest. He hasn't even attended anything besides. Okay. He has a light win? Oh shit, he has a light win. You're going in the attend more tier. Attend more events, please. Yeah. Who told you to put this guy? No one. I did. Because I wanted to look at him. I had no idea if he's been to anything else, but he has a fucking light win too. Like, what the hell? Think this guy's enough for a top 50 honorable mention? Probably. I mean, beating light and a bunch of other stuff, yeah, maybe. All right, last but not least, I threw him on at the last minute because I thought it'd be funny. I don't think he's really worth talking about, to be honest, but we're gonna look at his season anyway. Top one, yeah, best player in the game. Uh, oh god, I think it's pretty obvious that this is just a no. Why did you just decide to start doing really well? He beat a Rarks. Just decided out of nowhere to start doing really well these past two events. I don't understand. Need a Buzz Lightyear on the player card. Sounds like a pain, but it'd be funny. Uh, I don't know why he just randomly went on a good run. I mean, probably just goes there because the rest of this ain't it, but sure does have a major top 8 this season and a good Kagaribi for whatever reason. Hauntier, you know what? That's fair. Hauntier. That's a good spot. All right, I'm deleting this delete later so we could actually see everything and all the players that we've talked about, starting from the bottom. So this is the final list. Let's start from the bottom. So players who aren't in really contention for top 50 this season, but have a major top 8. We have Taike, Masa, Fui, Kome, Daigoro, Leaf, Ferrara Ramen, Kuhaku, Orion, and Teshi. The Ha tier, which is like what's going on with your season tier. Why do you have really good peaks but really bad lows? Nyono Kombu, Yone P, Ball, and Lunamato. Some good wins, peak wins, but inconsistent tier. We have Super Semi, Omega, and Susu. I mean, I think these three players, if we're being honest, this is where like the potential of actually making top 50 starts. I think they can if they clean up the rest of the season, especially Super Semi and Susu having probably more opportunities because of the two EU majors. And then Omega, I mean, there's plenty of NA events. If he goes to Momocon and like Comic Palooza and probably Gommel, he has a chance of also cleaning stuff up there too. Definitely players. I think this is like where the actual potential of making top 50 starts compared to the players down below. Very strong baseline, but needs to beat people ranked above them. They could be top 50. Essentially, this tier is players who haven't really lost a lot of people that are that far below them, but haven't just really found wins above on players above them. We have Louis Money, we have Sin, Siski, Shiroyuki, Perrenbox, level 1 Candle, Suna, Anarchy, Uame, Tarek, Subaki, Fire, Mark, and Cosmos. Top 50 contenders are players who, like, if the season ended today, I'd probably say would end up in the top 50. Probably have a good chance of making it if they continue the trajectory they're in, or excuse me. I don't know why the dogs are going crazy. As I was saying, probably have a good shot based on current standings, but I think are definitely in jeopardy of losing it. And that's Alice, Peanut, Motsunabe, Goryoka, Mild Night Cho, Umeki, MK Big Boss, Gachipi, Jagabata, and Karama. Then we have the defined by 1 to 2 runs, but those runs are really good. These players might just make top 50 based off these runs if no one is able to eclipse them. We have Meister, who won Obitory, Beast Apologenesis, rolls with Kagaribi, Jaza with Level Up, Debuzz with LMBM, Rimu with Kagaribi, Mutates with Kagaribi, and also kind of LG Madness, Monte with Battle BC, Cure. God damn it. Kirash with Level Up, and then Masha with Grand Slum 17. Now we have Japan's kind of messy, but they could be top 8. These players are pretty likely to be top 8. Uh, maybe unless they continue being very inconsistent with their losses. That's Ken, Akagikusu, Torigiri, Shion, Reno, and Kaninabe. And then we have the players who are pretty likely to just be a top 50 lock. I don't really think there's any argument really against them being there. That's Yoshidora, Snow, Kola, T, Rarix, Rocky, Crepe Soleil, Reflo, and Neo. 10 more friends, please. These players have really good records, but either don't make attendance or just are not really possible to rank with what they currently have reasonably. That's Tampi, Daifuku, Lugi, Yara, and Quid. And then top 20 contenders, we have Light, Sonics, Leo, Ashimo, Lima, Shiny Mark, Wrath, and Ouch, players who are pretty good this season, who are most likely to be top 20, but just most likely aren't being the top 10. We have the current top 10 contenders. The season is pretty fucking crazy. There's a lot of players who could do it, and I think these are the players right now who are in the lead. Spargo, Mia, Raru, Shuton, Tweak, Glutinese, Syrup, Zamba, Anin, and Carmelo. And then lastly, our contention for number 1. The race is very close and can be determined by the final 2 months of the season, and that's Aqua, Doramiki, and Hurt. That is the full fucking list. We have hit the 4-hour mark on stream. That is insane. Yeah, that's the whole list. Let's make this pretty, and then I'm shipping it off to Twitter, and it's going to be mute immediately. Don't explain anything. They want to watch the VOD to watch the entire explanation. Actually, no, I'm not going to put this out until I do the video. I think that is a better idea. So then I could just be like, you want your questions answered? Go watch the video. How many players did I actually have up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. 93 players. That's pretty crazy. All right. That I think is it for me. It is hour 4. It is 8 p.m. I need to go eat dinner. Thank you for joining me. You'll see probably in a few days the absolute menace that is this video. I wish I had more time to stream. It's really hard nowadays. I've been really fucking busy. But I thought this was a pretty fun thing to do. I'll see if I can fit in more this month, but to be honest, I don't think I can. I've just been too busy. But I'll have 4 uploads for the Speakeasy channel at least, or maybe 3. I don't know if I'm gonna do the Steve upload. But yeah, thanks for coming by. I'll see you all another time.